Hello, hello, welcome back or welcome to Soul Whispers with Michelle. This is a soul-led message, which means if it doesn't resonate, if you're fighting the story or you just find it confusing, please leave this behind for the souls that it is meant to find. May love hold you, may truth guide you, and may you be released from whatever is not yours to carry. And so it is, my friends. All right. This is a heavy deck. What I mean by heavy is it really tries to get I feel like your shadow out. All right, so let's see where you are, a snapshot of your current energy. The one. This feels really big. Hold on. I may be getting quiet in this, but because the clairvoyance, like the imagination is kicking through and I'm trying to see where this is going, okay? This feels really big, okay? This feels like you are coming to the truth that the duality of everything is really just the same but opposite energy. It's like I don't want to get political with this, but this is the navigation I'm kind of being led towards. Not that you're going through this, but to use this as an example. Instead of it being, say, the Democrats versus the Republicans, you're seeing that they are basically two ends of the same spectrum. And that the truth really, the balance really lies in the middle of these two perspectives. So you do see the duality, but you see basically that too much of this is not good and too much of that is not good. Or I don't want to say not good. We'll say it takes you off a balance. So if you're too far this way, you're going to get off balance. And if you're too far off this way, you're going to get out of balance. This is the energy that is surrounding you at this time. Really coming into balance and wholeness. All right, let's see what's crossing this energy. We have the Father. This is really funny because we have basically the center point of the duality, and then this feels very much like things are black and white. And so what's crossing you right now is I think you may be having a difficult time with what I just described. That there's a lot of times where we become loyal to, well, let's just use the Democrat and Republicans, where you become loyal to the party and not to an idea or an ideal. Like, I don't know how to explain. For example, if there's a policy that you find is beneficial, it won't matter to you whether it is the Democrats or the Republicans bringing that forward because it benefits the whole. But right now it seems like you're having a harder part to that. It's interesting. You know, if this fits, it fits. It does feel like, because it's the Father, like I would say that it feels, if this resonates it feels almost like too much on the masculine side of things, with that Father coming out. Almost like it's too heavy in the action part or something along those lines. All right, let's see what the energy that brought us to this situation. We have the Poet. it's like there's information that has been presented to you that you cannot ignore. And so that's why I think you're in this a little bit where the obstacle is kind of getting in the center and getting balanced because of whatever it is that you just saw. I get the feeling that there was a message of some sort that led you to a certain amount of clarity. But again, I just feel like that obstacle is kind of that old way of thinking clearing out, and this new way of thinking, it's starting to take root is the feeling that I'm getting. Okay, where's your soul going with this? We have Thanatos. Bearing witness to all that is, death and mourning. I think you're really being asked to see the truth, bearing witness to all that is. It's like bearing witness to all that is without judging it, because there's a certain amount of understanding. And it's not to say, by the way, that you can look at somebody else and be like, you know, I don't think I would like that energy in my life, or I don't think I would like to utilize that energy in my life. That's still bearing witness to all that is and making an observation for yourself without negatively affecting the other person, or really just without intertangling your energy with the other person's. It really feels like you're going to get to the point where you are going to be able to be very objective. And not that you can't stay loyal to your own perceptions, but I think your perception is shifting more to this unity and non-duality. Let's see what's supporting you with that right now. We have the Creator. Being curious, being very playful, and understanding that you can change your mind, you can recreate, is what's supporting you through this. Basically, instead of being so rigid, being adaptable and staying curious is supporting you, and you're already doing that whether you realize it or not. What's coming in to support you further? Kairos, we have divine timing. That gives me the impression that there's a specific reason that this is taking place. There's a certain perspective that needs to be observed and integrated at this moment, because it's the divine time for that. I feel like I want more information on that. Okay, I just looked down and saw that the inner knowing here. It feels like that inner knowing, you know it's time. You know it's time to evolve this. And you're realizing this is the right moment. I feel like, again, you saw something. Something from the past is illuminating this current situation for you. Wonder if we can find out what it is. Let's see if we can. I'm just curious. What is it from the past? The Three of Pentacles and the Moon. It's like there was uncertainty, and now the divine timing is you are certain. So for the past, it feels like it wasn't very clear, but now you know what to do moving forward. You know how to move forward with this, the one energy, with the non-duality type of energy. It's interesting though that we still have the Father crossing that, but oh, we'll get to that, I suppose. All right. Let's see what your perception of this is. We have the river. It's funny that this is upright, but the horse is upside down. You feel like you're going with the flow. And that corresponds with that divine timing and inner knowing too. It's like you know you have to go with this flow. Again, whatever that was presented to you, whatever message you received that gave you this clear inner knowing and understanding is also, or gave you the perception that I'm going to move and flow with this. All right, let's see how you're interacting with the environment around you. We have the vow. I think you're committing and making a very grounded promise to see things from a non-duality perspective, that you can hold enough space for all perspectives within that scale. All right, let's see your hopes and fears. We've got the ocean. I think the fear with that is it's so vast. If you, it's like it changes everything that you knew if you believe in non-duality. That it's not black and white, that it's really somewhere in between. I think because you see the depth, like you understand that typically people will go to one end of the spectrum or the other, and I think you see that it's because of patterning, it's because of behaviors and things like that people tend to rely on or lean on when we'll just rely on when they're triggered or their nervous system is activated. I feel like the hope is that you can hold and see that depth and go below the layer. I think the fear with the ocean is that it's really going to overwhelm you because it's so vast. And it can get convoluted once you get underneath the surface to see all the entanglements going on, creating that imbalance to one side or the other. Okay, let's see what the outcome is. Venom. Self-realization through suffering. I think there's a certain amount of poison in realizing where you personally have been out of balance and only seeing something from one side. But that realization is going to give you so much growth. I think too, the venom corresponds with the lower frequency of the father, which is being devastated by failures. But the failures teach us something. So if there's something off in your thought process or your construct of left, right, wrong, whatever you want, whatever, that when you see the truth, how it's basically the same but opposite energy. Yes, it's poisonous. Yes, you have to realize where you've been wrong, where you've been maybe biting people, right? Like giving other people venom, not realizing that you're off balance, or that you're not seeing something clearly. And I just think that's harder for you because it's a hit to the ego to be like, why didn't I know more? Why wasn't this correct? Whatever it is. But through that realization, there's going to be a positive outcome of that. You're going to understand why it is that you're suffering, and you're suffering because there's an imbalance. And you're going to see what that imbalance is. I kind of want a tarot card. What is the realization? What is the realization? What is the realization they're going to learn? We have the Hierophant. I learned. Hey! It's enough. Well, okay, that's obviously more confirmation that there's really an important lesson. I mean, just look at that picture. There's enlightenment when you sit down and you feel balanced and you see the truth for what it is and you surrender it. Forgive yourself for the way you thought. You only knew what you knew at that moment. And now you know something different, which means you can act differently. I want to see if I can get more of a... Can you guys stop? What is your problem? Enough. Okay, let's see if I can get what it is. What is this lesson that you're going to learn? Well, it says self-realization. So what about yourself are you going to learn? What about yourself are you going to learn and see clearly? What about yourself are you going to learn and see clearly once you get out of duality? 5 of Cups. I don't get it. Enough! Oh. There's grief. You're going to learn to grieve your previous identity. This is what I'm getting. You're going to learn to grieve who you were because you learned who you are. So let me see an energetic card that is more aligned with who you've become. Isn't that interesting? Because we're talking about balance. I balance. Well, isn't that funny? I guess I didn't need extra cards to to say the same thing, which is that this is really about finding balance and not letting yourself get too far in one direction or the other. That there's really peace and harmony within that 0 point or that neutrality in a way. All right, that's what I have for you. So if you felt seen and understood, please, please support me back by donating to my Venmo or PayPal account. If you would like to support this space in a free way, liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel helps these messages reach more people, and I really appreciate your support. Until the next whisper, my friends.